Will he help you defensively with faceoffs? Yes. Does that matter? Yes. Is a 30-second window of every game where you need to win one faceoff going to be consistently impactful for Colorado? Or are you just paying for something that could be the difference in one game, but not very often?
I think it's a little important because we see them lose every single faceoff on the penalty kill right now, and that's 30 seconds of defending that they're doing and not just a puck that gets cleared. It doesn't even feel like they're competitive on most of those faceoffs. They get crushed in there. They get crushed in there so much that Ryan Johansson is being sent out there to try and help it. And unless Ryan Johansson is winning every single one of those faceoffs, it's not going well because as soon as they lose it, he doesn't know what to do after that. So I think it is a meaningful addition to the team. It does help them, but it's also, he's a great defensive center.
You can make a good argument that the Colorado Avalanche need to get a 4C at the NHL Trade Deadline. I do not think you can make a good argument that the Avs should pay a first-round pick for a 4C at the NHL Trade Deadline.
I mean, Rudo, they have a 4-Giev. I think a 4C would be good, too.
Oh, God. 4-Sieve?
Oh, there it is. They do already have one.
Nic Dowd, the topic of today. Certainly zero interest for the price that Washington seems to want for him.
But in a world, all they want, brother.
Right. In a world where that price inevitably comes down, could you see Nic Dowd in an Avs jersey, or is this meh?
Well, I'll tell you, for a first-round pick, no. For that, again, like the 2026 second-round pick, to get him for this year and next year, yes. $1.3 million is not very much. He is a 4C. He is not a great offensive player at all. He is a spectacular defensive player. He gives you what you want. Historically in his career, he wins faceoffs. This year, it has not really been that case. But he would also give the Avs just a little extra here. He's right-handed. The Avs need that because they don't have a whole lot of that, and especially when it comes to trying to win a late-game faceoff. If you have Ross Colton on the left side and you got Nic Dowd on the ice on the right side, depending on where that faceoff gets taken,
I feel okay.
Yeah, you feel like you have prepared for that situation on some level. If you have an Adam Henrique and a Nic Dowd, then you really feel like you've prepared for that situation. So it's ultimate example of min-maxing your roster. It is raising the floor of it, not the ceiling.
I think that's a good way to put it. I guess my question is, how much better does Nic Dowd actually make Colorado? Sure. Will he help you defensively with faceoffs? Yes. Does that matter? Yes. Is a 30-second window of every game where you need to win one faceoff going to be consistently impactful for Colorado? Or are you just paying for something that could be the difference in one game, but not very often?
I think it's a little important because we see them lose every single faceoff on the penalty kill right now, and that's 30 seconds of defending that they're doing and not just a puck that gets cleared. It doesn't even feel like they're competitive on most of those faceoffs. They get crushed in there. They get crushed in there so much that Ryan Johansson is being sent out there to try and help it. And unless Ryan Johansson is winning every single one of those faceoffs, it's not going well because as soon as they lose it, he doesn't know what to do after that. So I think it is a meaningful addition to the team. It does help them, but it's also, he's a great defensive center in his role. I mean, he's not going to go and shut down, if you're in a playoff series, he's not going to go shut down Jason Robertson and Rupe Hintz.
He's a depth guy.
But he's a depth guy, but there's enough offense there. And right now, you are potentially staring down the barrel of a fourth line that has Zach Parise, Nikolai Kovalenko, and Andrew Cogliano vying for jobs on it.
That's someone to stick in the middle.
That is a little bit different of a world than a typical fourth line that's not going to be able to produce any kind of offense or generate any kind of offensive pressure. That is a group that you think these guys could cause some problems while also protecting their own end at a high level. So Nic Dowd, for a first-round pick, it's dumb. Nashville learned this hard lesson with Paul Gaustad a really long time ago, and nobody has done it since.
That's a good point.
Because It didn't work. It doesn't work. It's a bad idea. The guy doesn't make enough of an impact to justify that. And a second round pick in 2026 is still pricey, but at least it's for 2 years.
The problem I have with it is I don't think I'd do it for a second either. I think the second is just a bit too high of a price for me.
I don't think he is a great fit with Colorado's pace. His speed is a major concern. And with who he potentially could play left, like, I don't know if Cogliano is here past another year, but if it's the O'Connors of the world, speed is the name of that game. And
for sure.
I think I'm just a little gun shy after seeing how Ryan Johansson has struggled in Colorado. And I feel bad. Every one of these seems to come back to him in some way. But the speed is a huge downside in his game, and it's such a big part of Colorado's. Everything else, though, right shot center, does PK, that's all great. The production's right in line with where I'd expect a fourth line center to be. It's just the speed is hard for me to get past.
I don't have much more to add than what everybody's been saying, but this is a guy that I'm kind of blah on. I mean, I'm okay with. I mean, like, whatever. You would add depth. I wouldn't be willing to let go of a high asset. So like a first, second.
This is the problem with the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
If Washington said, "Hey, we'll take a fourth for this guy," you'd have 16 teams lining up to take that guy for a fourth in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Probably would have 25 teams because they think they can get a third next year at the deadline for him.
That's my point. I think I'm blah on him. You know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost like, wow, what a comment that is. But it's more like I don't have much more to say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay on him. But does he make them better? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Just a little bit, because he has the right shot. Like you said, like I said, I'm not going to add more to what you've been saying to all of you. I'm saying all the same thing. Is what it is, and it's well priced. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the salary.
Yeah.
Not
For
what
sure.
you would cost. There's a big difference there. Let's not be confused, right? But yeah, I'm okay. He makes them a little bit better. That's about it.
We talk about wanting to get Adam Henrique for less than the first.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to quantify, is an extra year of Nic Dowd the same value as Adam Henrique for this cup run? And I get there are other pieces of that trade and whatever, but my point being, go solve this year. Next year is next year's problem.
Like we said with Jake Allen, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
The thing about next year is that 1.3 for a quality.
Is that what you're
fourth line
saying? Are you
center.
talking about the contract, or you mean the position?
Both.
Yeah.
1.3 for a fourth line center is a very appropriate number, and since they decided that Fredrik Olofsson isn't it, you're now going from 775 to 1.3 for that position, but 1.3 is an acceptable number to spend on a fourth line center. You start talking about the Nico Sturms of the world at $2 million, that's a tough sell. That's a lot harder to get to.
I agree with what you're saying, but also if you're looking for the easiest position to fill in the NHL, it might be 4C.
I would say it's probably fourth line wing,
Sure,
and then 4C.
But it's not like those guys are hard to find.
You are completely correct in that you don't necessarily need to trade a top 100 pick to try and fill that job.
Yep.
It's just that the good ones are good and they stand out, and the real answer is go find a 3C on a bad team and put him as your 4C.
Yep. And look, if the Avs have woven through and they've acquired Adam Henrique and they've gotten a backup goaltender and they have a second round pick burning a hole in their pocket and they feel like this guy could win us a game to get us to the cup, sure, whatever.
I will say if they go and get a 2C and they get a backup goaltender and maybe even add a defenseman, and they're like, we've got cap,
And this is their fourth
we
move.
can still do this, then yeah, Nic Dowd would be fun.
Yep.
But if he's like a headlining move of your
You got a
deadline,
problem. This is
that's tough, man. That's a tough one.
you're
for
running
me.
back the Lars Eller thing at that point. And I
Yep.
get there's context there, but
Yeah, you're running back to Lars Eller, but putting that guy in a way better position to do some work.
it's still going to feel like they didn't do enough.
He's a good player, but just is it so hard to find a Nic Dowd, to develop one, that you have to continue to pay other teams for this guy?
Like, is Freddie Olofsson really not it? Probably not. I don't know.
Well, he can't win a face-off. I thought Freddie Olofsson was fine as a fourth-line player,
Right.
but as a center, I think it was over.
It's tough.
Is Nic Dowd better than Freddie Olofsson? Yes. Is he significantly better? I don't know.
Is he so much better that one guy is on waivers and the other guy
Right.
you're trading a second-round pick for?
Exactly.
I don't know. I just the fact that he's so cheap this year and next, money-wise, and that you're done with that position, you're just finished. Because the Avalanche as a team don't have very many holes.
They do not.
You know, and going into next year, there are not many holes.
Just one grapefruit size.
There's a lot of it's fix the 2C thing, and then you know they have money. They're going to have to make some financial decisions over the summer.
Yep.
But being able to replace Jonathan Duran with Nikolai Kovalenko will be kind of a wash in terms of money.
Yep.
But you will need to find spots. But if you can walk into the start of next season and your center depth on day one is done, you're at a huge advantage over a lot of teams.
True.
One more question, though. Because I don't remember. But did he win a cup with Wash a few years back? I don't remember. Was he part of the squad, like taxi squad? Was he part of it? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I can't remember because his career in Washington started right around there.
I think he
I don't
might have been on the
remember.
taxis right there.
Joined 2018.
No, just to go with-
2019.
2018-19, so he missed the
Just
cup.
missed.
You missed it? Okay.
So he doesn't have a cup.
There you go.
He doesn't have a
That's
cup.
why I was asking. Falls in your bucket.
Look, and for 2 years you get to chase it. And then he becomes a one-time winner. Well, now Nic Dowd needs to win 2.
Yeah. That's why I was bringing it up. Because I do
Okay.
remember. I do believe he was on the taxi squad, though, to be honest. Because I've heard him talk about it. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but...
He wouldn't have got a ring anyway then, but...
No, but you're around. I mean...
Anyway, Nic Dowd, certainly
maybe.
not the primary target for Colorado this year. We got plenty of videos of guys that might be primary targets for Colorado on this playlist. So go watch the next video. Go drool over someone who might be playing in the Avs top 6. And then go cry about the Avs not having a ton of goalie options. I don't know. Just go watch the next video.